What is up, my nerds, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Mind. Look who is here. Zack is here. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, dude. It's the weekend.
Good.
Feeling a lot better. If you
The
ask me on a
weekend.
Tuesday, it's different.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. The weekends are what I look forward to. I always give myself, all right, I gotta make it to Wednesday. When I make it to Wednesday, then I'm like, all right, I gotta make it to Friday. So it's cool. Hey, so we're gonna have a different episode today, guys. There's things in the nerdy world with news and stuff like that, but I thought, how about we step away from nerdy news for a little bit? Let's talk about us, man. Let's bring ourselves out here a little bit more. And I thought I would talk about young Zack and young Shane and like their, childhood years for playing video games or even teenage years. I thought, you know, I wanted to talk about like your overall day. Like, say you had a snow day or
Mhm.
you had a holiday or some like you dedicated the weekend. You're like, I'm playing video games this weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what was your overall like setup? Like what was your go-to snack, your drink, what was
Okay.
the system you're playing, and what was your overall game that you were cranking out?
Yeah. So this is a really fun question. I think when young Zach stepped away from all his responsibilities and stepped
Sure.
away from not doing his homework and
What's
uh,
homework?
well, yeah, okay, so I think that the I'm gonna target in on like 13, I think.
Okay.
Because it
That's a good age.
varies.
Yeah.
Younger me
Yeah. Yeah,
would do
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
like Saturday morning cartoons,
Yep.
early 8 to 13 phase was like Jackie Chan Adventures,
Dude.
Static
Yeah.
Shock, Shaolin Showdown, um the Weekenders. I stand by that. The Weekenders was way ahead of its time. If you've never watched the Weekenders, it's a fantastic show. Um uh but if we're going like 13, like edgelord
Mhm.
Zach, it would be like uh Code Red, I think, would be my go-to drink. um
Yeah. Mhm. So
that I
Mountain Dew
used to
guy.
drink Code Red so much that it gave me
Mhm.
migraines. I had to stop drinking Code Red because something in it would give me like debilitating
Was it
headaches.
was it the code red or was it just like you just substituted code red for water? Like there was no water in your system.
Yeah, no, that definitely played a factor. I also wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm gonna drink this Code Red and eat a chicken Caesar salad. Like, so like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure my diet wasn't helping.
Right.
Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna say like if it's a sick day or like if I like played hooky or whatever the case may be, and I just had like an ideal 13-year-old kicking it day, I think it would be Code Red,
Mhm.
chicken nuggies, French fries if I got them. Um, I think gaming wise, 13. I don't know. The years all blend together. It was probably some PS2, maybe
Okay.
Xbox 360. I'm not sure what years we're
Mhm.
playing with here, but I'm just kind of going
This
off
sounds about right.
nostalgia vibe, you know?
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
PS2 games, if it was PS2, it was probably something like Tony Hawk, Kingdom Hearts, um, something maybe God of War. Um,
Okay.
if it was like Xbox 360, it was Halo, it was Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That was like the dawn of the like online era.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be contingent on if it was like a sick day or if it was like a weekend day. Because if it's weekend day, you and your boys, you're hooking
Yeah.
up. If it's if you're like
you're like the only one on.
those those dumb they're in school right now learning
Yeah.
about algebra and shit. They don't know nothing about Master Chief.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's a good thing, yeah.
yeah. And then of course, it's one of those things where like, you go downstairs at like you wake up late, you go downstairs
Mhm.
at like noon, you play video games until 11 p.m. and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Been
So
12
you had a
hours.
setup. So you didn't have the games in your room. You had like an actual like
No,
cave.
I had for a while we actually called it a cave. It was I just
Mhm.
had rain of the basement in my house.
Yeah.
So it was a finished basement and it was downstairs. There was like a it was probably like a storage room, but it was like a big room. And so we just
Sure.
turned it into a bedroom and it had no windows. So that's why we called it the cave. It had
Mhm.
no windows and a door, and then a pretty long hallway. The laundry room was down in the hallway, and then a bathroom, and then there was like a living room area in the thing. It wasn't like huge. We're working
Mhm.
townhouse space here, but they just let me have the basement as my own area. So I would just wake up in my cave, go upstairs, get food, come back down, sit in the living room that was my living room, and
Yeah.
the PS2 hooked up, the Xbox hooked up, like everything. We had one of those like old big TVs, you know what I mean? Like the ones that were like
Mhm. The big tube
if you
TVs.
dropped it on someone, it would kill them.
Ew, they kill 'em, they're like 800
If
pounds.
I dropped my current TV, and I have a big TV, if I dropped
Yeah.
that on somebody who was laying beneath it, they'd be like, "Ow,
Mhm.
man, watch what you're doing." If I did that
Yeah.
with the TV back then, dead for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember those. I remember those. Like a 50 side note, a 50 now, like I can carry a 50 by myself.
Yeah,
But a 50 back then with the big old glass and the tube in the back, it's like we need 8 people.
yeah, yeah. If it was big enough, it became its own stand. Do you remember those TVs
Yeah.
where it was like, "It's too
Yeah.
big to mount this on something or to put this on something?" So instead, what we're gonna do is it's just gonna have, like, a good 2.5 feet of, like, building material. Like, they were just gonna
Yeah.
put all the electronics in here, and then it was, like, building material and then screen, and it was like that's my dad had one of those, and he was like at one point when he moved from East Coast to West Coast, he was like, "Hey man, you want that big TV?" And this is like long past like LCD TVs, and I was like, "Nah,
Mhm.
man, I'm good. No, I don't want to haul that 700-pound TV into my house."
Yeah. I gotta hire, some movers just to
Right?
move the TV,
I gotta
no
get those
thanks.
straps that you like hook them so that it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
your back.
Yeah. Yeah, body belt and stuff like that. That's funny. Yeah. Dude, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah. What
That
about
sounds
you?
like a really good time. I was almost the same thing. Like I had the rain in my basement as
Mhm.
well, dude. I think that's every boy's dream to have like, especially as a teenager or like young kid, to
Like,
have
give
like,
me my own space.
yeah, dude. I had the rain in the basement. And we had this. I had the same setup like you. Like I had a huge tube TV
Mhm.
that like
Mhm.
weighed 1,000 pounds. I was definitely the PS2 kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't really have Xbox, so I guess it was turn the era of like PS2 into PS3 time,
Mhm.
you know? And same thing as you. I was playing God of War or playing a lot of Final Fantasy games. Like I cranked out a lot of hours on Final Fantasy X, more than I can count.
I missed the Final Fantasy train. I missed it entirely growing up, and I'm like trying to backtrack into it because it's so important to
Mhm.
everybody, but like it matters so much less now.
But what's cool about Final Fantasy is that like none of them like follow each other. Like
Yeah,
they're
like
on
you
their own
I
story.
I
So
didn't
like
know that at first. I was like, "Do I have to
yeah.
start with one?" And when I started working at GameStop, my manager was a big Final Fantasy fan, and he was like,
Hmm.
"No, my favorite is 9, most people's favorite is 7, other people have played like
Hmm.
3, I think." Like
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so, like, the new one, Final Fantasy 16 side note, but, like, you could s play it on PlayStation or Xbox or PlayStation, and it's so good, dude. You'll love it. But, yeah, like, so let me go in order. So my drink
Mhm,
of choice was definitely, I love Coke, more than Pepsi, but, like, Mountain Dew
mhm.
is, like I think every gamer's, like,
I
number
it's such a
1 drink of
cliche, but it's
choice.
so correct.
Yeah.
Especially with Baja Blast. One of my best friends
Yeah.
still texts me and is like, "If you ever see Baja Blast at Costco," because I have a Costco membership, he's like, "If you ever see
Mhm.
Baja Blast at Costco, buy it for me." And I do. Sometimes I'll surprise him. I'll be like, "I got you a 32 pack." And then I'm allowed to come over to his house for another 6 months.
Yeah, so, it's the same thing, like, Code Red was definitely one of my number ones, regular Mountain Dew, obviously, but it always Code Red had a better taste than regular
It
Mountain Dew.
did
The
have a
Mountain
better taste,
it's
so
just like
much
the
so that
regular
it
Mountain
gives
Dew
you
had, like
migraines.
I mean, regular Mountain Dew just had, like, a little tinge at the end of it,
Mhm.
like you're drinking battery acid, so you're like, "Is this good for me? Probably not."
Oh, the worst is when a drink has, like, 95% good, and then that last
Mhm.
5% because I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. Mountain Dew, you're like, "Ooh, that's good." Ooh, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, "Something notes at the end there
It's
kinda
not
hitting
bad.
weird."
It's just Code Red
Yeah.
ended on that, like, really, really sweet flavor.
Mhm.
That was the last 5% of that drink, and that's why I
Yeah.
couldn't not drink that drink. It was so good.
Yeah, that's like Baja Blast now, like,
Mhm.
if say, like, I don't really drink soda much, but if I am gonna drink a soda and I see, like, a Code Red or a Baja Blast in, like, a bottle, I'm like, "I'm grabbing that." I'm not gonna go for a regular Mountain Dew or Diet Mountain Dew for Code Red or Baja Blast. I'm going for those
This
flavors.
is wait. Can I sidetrack you for a second?
Sure.
I
Yeah.
know podcast hosts love it when you sidetrack them in the middle of their questions, but as let's make this sad. We are both
Okay.
30-ish-year-old men.
Yeah.
We now mostly drink water because that keeps you
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah. We've learned
But
our lessons.
if you had to harken back and these days pick up a drink, because I won't drink a Code Red again because I don't like migraines. It just my body has just learned at this point that if I drink any Code Red, it's like, oh, trigger the migraine. Let's just get ahead of it. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
if you had to pick up a drink now, a soda now,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your soda of choice? Like, including all of your shitty old man 30-year, like, what is your
Mm-hmm.
realist? Not like I want to harken back, but like, you know what? I want to treat myself. I'm gonna 30-year-old
Mm-hmm.
treat myself. Like, what is your go to?
See, that's a pretty hard question. It's kind of a loaded one to me because like I love soda's so good, dude. It's like it's so
It's
good.
addictively good.
Yeah. But honestly, if with me being 30 and I'm like
Yeah,
this is how my dumb brain works. It's like, all right, I'm gonna drink a soda. It's this many calories, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna drink a dark soda. I'm gonna drink a light soda. It's not as bad.
Because I can't
So I
see the
usually
chemicals.
Yeah. So I like drink a Sprite. You
Yeah,
know, I
dude,
love a
Sprite's
Sprite, dude.
good. Sprite's refreshing. That's why.
Yeah.
I can
You know
trick
what's
my
crazy
brain
is
into
like
thinking it's almost water.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I picked the clear. That's why you're like, I don't want to drink a regular Coke because that's mud water. You know, it's
Right,
not good
right.
for
You're
you.
like, I can tell that's
So
not good for you.
yeah.
Don't they
So
have like? Didn't they have like Pepsi Clear for a while, or like
yeah.
Pepsi Crystal?
Hmm.
Would that have floated your boat because it's clear?
See, this is the thing. Like, my sister loves Pep. This is where my sister and I are different.
Mm.
My sister loves like the sweetness to Pepsi.
Sure.
Not that Coke isn't, but Coke has that bite that I like. It has that
Yeah.
fizziness
So like,
that
I
like,
agree with you. I look. I'm trying to be better about not shitting on people's opinions when they're wrong, like wrong or disagree with me,
yeah.
aka they're wrong. Um, but I'm a Coke boy over a Pepsi boy. I
Yeah.
appreciate that Pepsi is sweeter, and if you're looking
Yeah.
for a sweet beverage, I'm not. I grew up on this soda kicks you in the back of the throat on the way down and
Yeah.
curses your mother. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's a fat ass, and you're like, oh, thank you, soda.
Oh, thanks.
That was
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. It's all about that carbonation that hits me.
Hmm, hmm.
That's why it's hard for me to give up energy drinks right now because like in the morning like
Oh,
I can drink coffee but like coffee has that bitterness that's like but like if I have a nice energy drink with like no sugar in it and like has that carbonation I'm like
I okay, here's the thing. I really like energy drinks a lot. And
yeah.
so I don't drink them because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they're gonna kill me if I drink them at the pace that I want to. Mountain Dew warned me of this, so it's too good. Code
Yeah.
Red was my Code Red, man. It let me know. So I used to drink a lot of Red Bulls, especially when I was
Mhm.
in my young 20s and would go out drinking a lot. I would do the whole like Jaeger
Oh,
bombs
yeah,
or
yeah. Yep.
there's another one. But
Vodka Red
or it would
Bulls.
just be my chaser. And fun fact, Code Red was my chaser for a while because I was like, hey, you know how I used to love Code Red a lot?
Yeah.
It'll go well with alcohol. And then my friends thought it would be funny to spike my drink where they were spiking my Code Red. This might have also played into to my hate of Code. I don't hate Code Red now. I just can't drink Code Red
Yeah, you're like,
anymore.
"I'm just rather not."
Anyway, they used to pour shots into my Code Red, and then I would take a shot and then chase it with my Code Red. I don't hang
Yeah.
out with those people anymore. Um, no, so if I had to go, I'm sorry, I took over your question. You didn't answer.
No, no, good. Yeah,
I was
good.
gonna say if I think I go. This is completely contrary to my like I don't like sweet drinks thing. I think I would go Dr Pepper, Dr Pepper or Diet Dr Pepper because let's
See,
face it, I'm 34.
Dr. Pepper, though, that's what I'm saying, it has that bite to it.
It has that bite, but then it like it's like the Sour Patch Kids. It's a little harsh, and it's a little sweet at the end.
Yeah, but I think I like torture. I think that's why I like it.
I
Um,
want it to hurt just a little.
yeah, I wanted to remind me, hey, maybe you shouldn't be drinking this.
Like they do warn you.
Yeah, yeah, they do. But that's why I think I switched to sparkling water now.
Mm,
Uh, a lot of people don't like sparkling water, but like the natural sparkling water with just carbonation and like the natural flavors, it hits that craving for me. It's that biteness to it to like
yeah.
give me that carbonation. So that's what I crave the most.
The I crave the
But
violence.
yeah, I crave the pain. So, it definitely would be probably the same as you, like Code Red, Sprite, um, was my drink of choice. My food was so I had the same kind of setup. We had like our laundry room, like
Mhm.
back room where we stored things in the
Right.
basement. Didn't have a bathroom, so it kind of sucked. The only time I saw daylight is if I had to go to the bathroom. And trust me, I held my pee as long as I
Oh,
could
yeah.
because the trek up my 14 staircase I had was
Was
a horrible thing for me.
Yeah, well, and also, let's be honest, like, those sodas, they stack up. Like, you're, like, 6
Yeah.
sodas in, and you're like, "That's not too bad," until you realize that's, like, 40 fluid ounces.
Yeah, plus, like, if I'm playing, like, a match on Call of Duty and I'm, like, having a really good game, I'm
Right.
like, the urge to have to go pee, it makes me move quicker.
Yeah, like, it's like your senses catch up with it's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
we're in a panic now because we gotta pee," and you're like, "I'm just gonna channel that focus into getting some
Yeah.
headshots."
Yeah, exactly. So we had, like, in our laundry room, which was, like, right next to our stairs,
To pee in
was,
the laundry room, is that what you're about to tell me? All our clothes
I'm
smelled
not
really
saying that.
bad because I would pee in the washing machine.
Okay, look, not saying I wasn't opposed to peeing into the stationary tub, but that's here no there. I'm going
We
to
talked about this
uh
before we started recording that we would not bring that up on camera.
I will not say yes or no to that question, but yeah. We had a freezer. We had a freezer in our
Oh, okay.
which was like our essentially was just for like extra storage. Like we wanted to pack like extra ground meat and stuff like that, or like steaks and stuff in there. Like we had our DiGiorno pizza boxes from like BJ's in there,
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
had
yeah.
like a stack of them.
They're so big you don't
And
wanna put them
my
in the regular freezer.
yeah, so my food of choice was Hot Pockets, bro. Like,
Mm,
dude, we
dude.
got those, like, big packs of Hot Pockets from, like, BJ's or Costco, and I would just, like and I made it a choice that we had an extra microwave, and I put the microwave downstairs, um, and I would just, like, have disposable plates, like, like, a cabinet, and I would just grab them, put them in there, and I, like, was just surviving off Hot Pockets and Code Red.
Dude, I have to ask you a question, and this is
Yeah,
not from a place of judgment
yeah,
because I was also a nerdy kid. I get it. I also spent a lot of time just chilling in my basement. We're on the same wavelength. I'm asking you this
yeah,
as a friend and as an
sure,
ally. Did you
sure.
spend most of your teens just, like, shitting your brains out between the Mountain
Mm.
Dew Code Reds and the Hot Pockets? There's no way that your stomach
Um
wasn't like, "Fuck me." S Sorry if you're not allowed
Actually
to cuss on the podcast.
no, we can, yeah, we can. I had pretty regular, times,
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
That is the digestive system of a newly born person, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
that's like,
I
"I
could tell
haven't
you
been worn down by time yet."
I'll tell you what, me being my 30s, if I go back into my teen level
Yeah.
eating habits to now, I am wrecking myself
Yeah, for,
because,
like,
like
not even a day. If I did a single
yeah,
meal of Mountain Dew Code Red and a Hot Pocket or 2, I'd be down for the count for another day. There wouldn't be no
I
video games unless it was, like, my Switch while I'm shitting my brains out on the toilet.
I do it to myself by accident, not really by accident, but, like, since I drive to different job sites every day, I sometimes will stop at, like, a Wawa or a Rural Farms
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
a 7-Eleven, grab something really quick, right? And then grab generally, I have water with me now, but, I'll, like, grab a drink. After eating the gas station food for, like I know it's not the healthiest, but, like, I grab something really quick, and I've been trying to pack my lunch more, guys. Sorry, jeez.
Just lay
Um
off him in the comments, or actually tear him up in the comments. Call him a piece of shit.
um, I'll get home and I'll kiss Nicole, like, "Hi," and I'm like, "I gotta go take a shit. See ya."
I love you, bye.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like, it's yeah, I can't do my teenage years anymore, dude. I
That's
can't
fair.
do it.
I'm gonna put you on the spot too. This is super relevant to only people who live in a certain area. Are you
Sure.
for the Maryland DMV people? Are you Team Wawa, Team Royal Farms, or Team what's the third one? There's a third one.
Um, 7-Eleven. Oh, Sheets?
Sheets.
Mm. See, they all have their things.
They all have
So,
their things.
yeah, let's just say this. I'll say this. I mainly go to Wawa
Hmm.
because it is the closest one to my house.
Hmm.
So I get
Okay,
my gas at
gotcha.
Wawa in the morning.
Location
Um,
and frequency are your thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So the thing of it is, but like I can say this. So remember I said I'm addicted to caffeine, so my energy drinks, right? So Wawa carries these monster 0-calorie energy drinks that I usually drink. It's called like Sunrise Blast or something like that. It's
Hmm.
like pretty much tastes like an orange soda. They carry this one all the time. Whether if I go to
Mm.
like a Sheets
It's
or a
it's
or
50
Royal
50
Farms, they
or
don't have that.
less.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm not feeling a Monster Energy drink and I want like a rock star, then I'm gonna go to Royal Farms because that's like their big bread and butter.
Yeah, they do really partner with Rockstar a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really go to Sheets. I'll be honest with you.
For those, I guess I should say, it's probably you can probably get it from context. For those who don't know, I'm sure everybody has like a local gas station franchise that is also like
Mhm.
we're also like semi fast food on the inside, so that you
Yeah,
come in and buy stuff. That's in the DMV area. The big ones tend to be Wawa, Royal Farms, and Sheets, and and it's like an ongoing debate on the East Coast
yeah.
of which is your
Now
favorite.
I can tell you, Royal Farms is good,
Mhm.
but Wawa's food, dude,
Dude, okay, so
is
here's the
fucking
thing.
on point.
I'm always torn between Wawa and Royal Farms because Royal Farms has good chicken, which is
Yeah,
like my favorite thing. You can get me good
yeah.
chicken tenders, good tendies, good nuggies, and I'm a happy
Mhm.
boy. They also have sliders and they put on Chesapeake sauce. And if you're not
Yeah.
from Maryland or the Maryland area, they basically take I don't know. I've looked it up and they keep it's on lock. I can't find it anywhere. To
It's
make
like the
like
Big Mac
yeah,
sauce.
it's like they have Chesapeake sauce, which is like really good
Mhm,
sauce that has like Old Bay kick to it. So it's like a
mhm.
Cajun Old Bay kick, and they put it on. They take a big fat chicken tender, they put it on shitty rolls, and then they pour this sauce on top of it, and it's like crack. So
Yeah,
like that's why Royal Farms tends to win. However, Wawa has like an insane amount of food, and it's all
dude.
pretty good, which is really
Dude,
annoying.
they're giving pizzas out
They
now.
have, and it's good. I got one.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
cheeseburgers now, and I thought they were gonna
Mhm.
be like the ones you used to get from school, where it's like the lowest quality beef, or like imagine
Yeah.
getting a 7-Eleven hamburger. That's the
Right.
quality I was expecting.
Right, right, right.
No knock on 7-Eleven. But it was like it was good. It was like one step below like a Wendy's burger, which is like fresh-ish, but, like, it still tastes like a good I was look, it was a greasy, delicious hamburger, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So it's hard for me to knock Wawa, but I think if I had to pick, I would go with Royal Farms because I'm a
Okay.
chicken boy.
Okay. Yeah, so, like, if I'm if yeah, like, if I'm, like, really craving chicken, I'm going Royal Farms because they're known for chicken.
Mhm.
Um, but if I really wanna grab, like, something really quick, like, snack-wise, Wawa's got, like, these mozzarella sticks
Oh, they
that
do have
in
those
those
good mozzarella sticks that they just
mhm,
leave in the, like, heating
in
bay.
the bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'll grab
They
those
do
or,
chicken
like, some
poppers in there
buffalo
too, and
chicken yeah, I was gonna
those
say
are
the buffalo
this is
chicken
not
poppers, dude.
sponsored by Wawa or Royal Farms. Sheetz is being
No.
left in the dust here. But if they
Dude,
would
but
like to
Sheetz has
sponsor
really good food, dude,
it
but Sheetz has really good food. It's there's not a Sheetz close to me.
Sheetz I used to live next to a Sheetz. When I was up in,
Mhm.
like, the God knows where of Maryland, where it's, like, just farmland, there was, like, one Sheetz, and it was right outside my neighborhood, and it was always packed because it's where everyone goes, and it was not designed to be packed. It was like, "This is
Yeah.
gonna be a tiny little store," and then everyone was like, "We need to go here."
Yeah.
Um,
Like,
Sheetz
the
food
one thing from
is really delicious, but Sheetz food is, like, really good drunk or high food. Getting it during the
yeah.
day is a little humiliating, I'll say that.
Yeah, because like, there's, like, one thing from Sheetz that I love, and it's the fried macaroni bites.
Mm,
God.
mhm.
What is up, my nerds? I want to introduce you to Anime Town Creations, your ultimate destination for anime-inspired vinyl decals. Are you a die-hard anime fan who can't get enough of your favorite characters? Do you want to carry your passion for anime everywhere you go? Want to level up your gaming setup with epic vinyl decals? Need a desk pad that's not just functional, but a work of art? Look no further, because AnimeTownCreations.com has got you covered. When you shop at AnimeTownCreations.com, you'll enjoy these fantastic perks like exclusive designs, premium quality, endless possibilities, and customer satisfaction. At AnimeTownCreations.com, they bring your favorite anime characters and themes to life like never before. Deck out your credit card with stunning custom-designed anime decals that showcase your unique style. Transform your gaming console into a masterpiece with their high-quality vinyl decals your opponents won't know it hit them. Work or play in style with their exceptional desk pads featuring vibrant anime-inspired artwork. Are you ready to join the Anime Town Creations family? Visit their website today and explore their amazing collection and stay up to date with their latest creations. Don't miss out on the chance to turn your world into an anime wonderland. With the coupon code NERDY10, get 10% off your first purchase. That's NERDY10. AnimeTownCreations.com. Bring your love for anime to life, one decal at a time.
Yeah, they used to have a deal that was like, the give you heart attack combo or whatever it was, where it was like you
Makes
get
sense.
2 thick mozzarella sticks because they have thick boys.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 mozzarella sticks, 2 chicken tenders, and I think it was like 2 something else like appetizery or sliders or something like that. And
Right.
it was like $6 and it was so much food. And I used to just I would get home on a Friday night and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna hate myself on Saturday.
I know what you mean, dude. I really do. I know what you do. Dude, there's sometimes when like, well, I'll say this, and then we're not a convenience store podcast, so we're gonna hop back
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there
yeah.
eventually.
This is what happens when you stick us together in the same room. I think we
Yeah,
forgot we're
Zach.
doing a podcast.
Yeah, Zach and I will just go on and on about stuff. But like, um, so like, there's sometimes when I'd be craving food when more likely I was dehydrated and didn't drink enough water. So I'd like
Sure.
stop at a Wawa or Royal Farms real quick, grab something, and drive home while I'm eating, and not be hungry for dinner because I was fucking eating convenience store food.
Yeah, because it's a look, it fills you up, okay?
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Oh
For
yeah.
all its qualities, it fills you up is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So
All right,
everyone,
we can
if you're
move
in,
on from the
yeah,
convenience store debate.
yeah. I'm sorry. Um, but like, yeah. So like, I was definitely heavily into online gaming. Obviously, you and
Mhm.
I are. I think we're like a 4 year gap between both of us. So
Yeah, give or take.
yeah. So like when you were 13, so like I think online was kind of coming out. So like when I was 13, you were in high school. So online gaming was like big. It was
Yeah,
huge.
it's weird to think that I was like around for the dawn of online gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's something people are gonna look back on and be like, "Can you imagine what it was like being?" And it's like, yeah, it was awful. It was just as
Yeah,
bad as
I was
it
gonna say
was.
like it's crazy. Like some kids like get to experience online gaming forever now, and I remember not being able to play. Like you had to buy special adapters and stuff for your systems to
Mhm.
hook up
Oh my
to
god, I
the internet.
still have the Xbox 360
The antenna
internet
thing.
plugin. Yeah, you
Yeah.
it hooked so well. The good marketing. There was
Yeah.
little clips on the back, and there was like a little 2 little holes on the back of your 360, and you would clip it on the back, and it had
Hmm.
just a tiny little cord that was no bigger than like my finger, and it would just was a USB, and it would plug into the back of the
It had
Xbox, so
enough
it hooked
cord.
on
It
the
had just
back,
enough cord.
just enough cord to plug in, and then it had a little antenna that I don't think actually did anything, and it was to pick up your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. This is the future.
Dude, PlayStation 2 had like that big brick that you put in the
Oh
back.
yeah, I didn't even bother with that. People were like, "You want to play
Yeah.
online with PS2?" And I was like, "No, I don't."
Yeah. So like I was a big PS3 guy. So playing Call of Duty with my cousin on the weekend was like the only thing I planned. Like that's
Mhm.
it. And like I would only see daylight, like I said, if I had to go pee. I'm like,
I
"Oh my
did.
god, what is that?"
It hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
online gaming was it's I've never been a huge online gamer. There was a
mhm.
phase post college, like I played online with friends and stuff like that, but like spoilers, I was that guy who was like mildly popular in a lot of groups rather than being
Yeah.
like very popular in one or two groups. So
Sure.
like I would play online with some games, but like not a ton. It was a lot of towards the tail end of high school. It was actually a lot of Wii because they came out with Wii Sports, and so like the
Mm.
high schoolers were like, "Ah, cool. We don't have to go bowling. We could just go to Zach's house."
Yeah.
But then like post college, I got really into online gaming once I made like more online gaming friends. And there
Mhm.
was like a 4 to 5 year streak where like that's mostly what I did. And then I was like, oh hey, this stresses me out a lot. I'm gonna go back to like RPGs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, that's like I switched from online gaming now. I still play online games. It's just like I don't have the energy for it as much anymore to where
Yeah,
I've kind of navigated into RPGs where it just me. Just me.
yeah,
Maybe I'll hop on Discord and talk to people as I play,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just mainly I'm focused on what I gotta do,
It's like
not
when Hogwarts Legacy came out, me and a bunch of my
yeah.
friends jumped on like a Discord chat in just a big room to be like, "Oh, this is cool. Oh, I went over here. This is cool. Oh, has anyone opened this door?" Cuz and that way you're kind of like sharing the experience. Me and my friends did the same thing when Fallout 3 and Skyrim came out, which is like
Mm,
I just want to experience this with someone, but I don't
yeah,
necessarily want to like because you can't play Skyrim online, especially at the
sure.
time and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, like I played a bunch of Call of Duty, a bunch of Halo. I tried Battlefield. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Sure.
Um, I think it depends on who you're playing with too. And so I think even you
Mhm.
and I used to play online semi regularly on Xbox.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. We he Shane just texted me his gamer code the other day, and I still haven't checked it in my bag. This is
Dude,
the
it's
life of a 30-year-old. There's just a lot of
dude,
time between things.
like, this is another side thing, is, like, I've talked this about with other people. It's just, like, we only as an adult, I don't wanna preach. It's just, like, as an adult with adult responsibilities, we only have so much minute time to do certain
Mhm.
things. Like,
Oh my god.
there are
I have so many
phases.
things I wanna do right now,
Yeah, dude,
and I
like,
do
I go
none of
through
them.
phases. I go through phases, man. Like, I'll be in, like, this big gaming mode right now where I'll just play games, and then I'll put anime on the back burner, and then, like, right now, I'm on a huge anime game where, like, I'll watch so much like, I'm watching so much anime, so much different things that are out, and then, like or there's, like, some movies that I wanna watch
Mhm.
like, I just feel like I never have time for
Dude,
anything, so I have to prioritize it in certain sections.
I say this to Bryn constantly. I call them seasons. I think it's
Mm,
an ADHD thing, I could be wrong,
I think
but,
you're right,
like,
though.
what'll happen so, like, right now, I'm in a video game season because, like, this year has been one of the best years in gaming releases in, like, decades, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Quite possibly the best year in gaming, period. Between for me personally, Hogwarts Legacy. I know there's controversy with JK, but like as a Hogwarts fan, as a Harry Potter fan, it
yeah,
was the most satisfying game to me because it gave me the full giant Hogwarts experience. Like before then, we had only had the movies, and you get clipped versions of the scenes, and because it's a movie. Whereas
yeah,
this, I could go from classroom to classroom, hall to hall, wall to wall, out into the forest, like
right.
all of that stuff was so satisfying for me. So that we had Hogwarts Legacy into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I
Mhm.
still haven't beaten because I keep just building Gundams and shit. Um, and then I forget something was happening. Summer was a little busier for me, and then it was like Baldur's Gate, and I'm still playing Baldur's Gate. And now Spider-Man has come out. So as soon as I
Mhm.
finish my first run of Baldur's Gate, I'm gonna hop back into Spider-Man, and then I'm gonna hop back to and because my wife is amazing and got me a PS5 for my birthday, which was in
I saw
August.
that.
That's when I
S
started playing Baldur's Gate when I got the PS5. Well, around then. And so now I want to backlog and jump back to God of War because
Yeah,
I didn't finish I haven't played Ragnarok yet, and I know it's
yeah,
like it's been on my list for like
dude,
years.
I'm the same way. Like, I just recently got a PS5 this year too because, like, I finally could get one,
Yeah.
and I waited and waited, and I know I finally purchased one, and I'm the same way, dude. I have a backlog of games, but like I've told you, like, I'm just like I don't have time. Like, I was just like I'll like, "Oh, the new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen came out. I wanna watch that." And then they'll get like,
How is
"Oh,
Jujutsu Kaisen? As I'm a
dude,
voice actor and I've never watched Jujutsu Kaisen, but
dude,
I see it everywhere and I think
dude,
people everywhere talk about it, so I'm like,
dude."
I need to watch it.
Dude, it is fucking good, dude. It is I've talked about this on our previous episode. It is peak anime right now, dude. It is so good. It's got funny comedy in it, but then the fight scenes are freaking amazing. The
Okay.
art is amazing. The actors in this are amazing, and the overall story is done really well. I don't want to put pressure on you, but definitely when you have some free time, pop that bitch on because you'll
So, like,
love it.
okay, you know how when as an ADHD person, when
Mhm.
you start doing something, you can't start a new thing until that thing is done.
Yeah.
I started watching One Piece, which
Yeah.
is fair because it's a legendary. I love pirates. There's nothing about One Piece that doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
It's a little cartoony at times. It takes on
Mhm.
that like that kind of childish tone before it takes on the like super cool fun tone, which is
Mhm.
fine. And
Yeah.
they're at least as far as I've gotten so far, they're still running with the anime traditional style of like Luffy is the Goku is the big fighter, and so they always find a way to like take him out of the game for a little bit before he can come in and make the heroic like
Mhm.
save everybody thing, and it gets a little ridiculous to me because I'm like,
Yeah.
this is now the fifth time where it's like, first they like trapped him under a pile of rocks, and then in the next arc they trapped him with a thing on his arm so that he couldn't go very far, and then in the next
Mhm.
arc they had to like do a thing so that it's like, guys, I this is fine for now. I am about 230, 240 episodes in. There are like 700 episodes to go, and if this
Yeah.
continues to be the thing over and over again, it's gonna get dull fast. But no, I'm gonna change it up soon because I think I've just gotten to between arcs in One Piece.
Mhm.
So I think what I'm gonna start doing for myself to try to break myself of that habit is throwing in different anime so that
Yeah.
it's not just like 1,000 straight episodes of
Yeah,
One Piece.
yeah. I mean, you and I talked about, like, how, like, I finished Naruto, and I didn't wanna take on another, like, juggernaut, so, like, I've been
Yeah.
watching a lot of short, form. So that's
Mhm.
why, like, I finished One Punch. I started off by finishing One Punch, so I'm waiting for season 3 for that to come out. Then I finished Demon Slayer because there was, I think, 4 seasons of Demon Slayer.
I think I need to catch up on Demon Slayer.
Dude,
Do
Demon
you watch
Slayer is
subbed or
so good.
dubbed?
Dub.
Okay, cool. Because I'm a dub guy, which I
Mhm.
know is an unpopular opinion. I'm a voice actor. I like to hear my colleagues work.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's hard with like Crunchyroll and stuff like that because a lot of times they
Mhm.
only will have the sub, not dub.
Yeah, so real quick, so with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's coming out, it's almost like Toonami back in the day where it's coming out episode by episode.
Mhm.
Like season 2 has you could watch season 1 to season 2 and still like have enough time to like get to where we're at. Um but a new episode, so I think the sub is 2 weeks ahead of dub right now.
Okay, so not a terrible delay.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Back in our day,
Right.
if you wanted Dragon Ball Z dubbed, not subbed, you had to wait for it to pop up on Toonami like 6 months after
Mhm.
the show aired in Japan and like a year after the manga was out.
Yeah. So I finished, One Punch Man. I finished Demon Slayer, which, oh my god, dude, I cannot wait for the next season. It's so good. You'll love it, dude. It keeps you like it's come into its own thing, man.
Mhm.
I love it. I have new posters back here of Rengoku, who's one of the Hashira fighting demon number 3. And then also have a Tanjiro holographic poster in the back
Sick.
too.
Oh,
So
I see it back there, I think.
yeah, so it's one of my new favorite shows. So I finished that, and then I jumped into something different. I watched Chainsaw Man, which is only 1 season right
Oh, yeah,
now.
how do you like it?
Dude, it's funny. It is so funny, and so, like, I explained to people, like, it's almost like having One Punch Man, but a little bit more gore to it because, like,
Mm,
it has, like, demons and stuff, so, uh but the main character is so funny, and this I've explained this to a couple of my friends, like, I like that new anime is starting to bring humor into the shows because it gives it a balance, like
mhm.
how Attack on Titan is great show. It's a great show, and I will
Oh my
not give
god,
it a
it's
VAR,
I know exactly where you're going with
but
this.
I can't take the, like, on the edge of my seat the whole fucking time.
It's so stressful.
Yeah.
It's 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 one of those things that, like, I adore Attack on Titan. It is
Mhm.
one of my favorite animes of all time, possibly.
Blue Lock, which is a
Oh yeah,
soccer
I
anime.
saw on the other episode that you're not feeling the sports animes
I'm
as
not
much.
feeling it, bro.
Which one did you watch?
Blue Lock, it's a soccer anime. It got, like,
Okay,
really good reviews, yeah,
I have
I
one
don't know.
for you. I have one for you that I think is peak sports anime, and I think
Okay.
most sports anime fans would agree with me. I might mess up the pronunciation because I am a white man. Um, and I don't do it on purpose. I'm just bad at it. I don't have any spices in me.
Mhm.
It's Haiku,
Haiku,
the
okay.
volleyball one.
Mhm.
I know what you're thinking because this is what happened. I started watching Haiku. I fell in love with it immediately.
Okay.
And then like 3 episodes in, I was like hooked. And Bryn, my wife, comes into the room at one point, sees me watching it, and she goes, "Do you like volleyball?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "But you love this anime." And I was like, "I am obsessed with this anime." And she was like, "But do you like know anything about volleyball?" And I was like, I have learned it all from this show." And it's fantastic. Here's the reason.
Mhm.
The characters are great. It is super competitive without being like they help each other. So like the teams will be like, oh, like they'll be in like a tournament or whatever, and they're all like out for themselves, and then they have like a summer break, and they're like, let me show you, like, oh, I knew you were gonna spike it this way because of the way you shift your hips. So try not to do that to like,
Yeah.
they help each other, they encourage each other.
Yeah.
I know what you had said, which is that there
Yeah.
are no stakes involved,
Yeah, like, it's
which
weird.
is not untrue, but
Yeah.
they make it feel like okay, so you played sports in high school.
Yeah.
You know that feeling of like it's my last year or
Yeah.
I if I injure myself, I don't get to play the game anymore. Like those are all real stakes that they put in there, so you
I
have to
know.
just like come at it with the mentality of a high schooler
Yeah.
who's like this is my last year. I don't get to Another sports one that I really enjoy is because I just enjoy basketball a lot is Kuriko's basketball,
Okay.
which is a basketball anime. So you're already off to a great start. And if you like basketball, they do a great job of doing that like anime thing where they like zoom in on like a 2 second window and then
Mhm.
play you the thoughts that are running through their head at that point. So they'll be like, oh, okay, he shifted his hips backwards, so he's going to go up for a jump start, but that's how he or jump shot. So that's how he always blah blah blah. If I stay on the ground, he might spin. And like they do a really good job of that. And then of course they animate it up where like he'll go for the jump shot and the ball gets like a streaking line to make it look like it's like a
Yeah.
meteor and it'll be like
Yeah, yeah.
boom in the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, those are the two I highly recommend. Kuriko's
Alright.
basketball and number one is Kuriko's basketball. If you like basketball, it should be your number one because I think you'll relate to it more as a basketball fan.
Okay.
But if you just want the best sports anime, in my opinion, it's Haiku. I think
Okay.
it's just got
Alright,
to be.
alright. I'll listen to you, and I'll give a sports anime another shot.
Give it 3 episodes.
Okay. Alright. Alright, guys. I'm gonna give it another shot.
Yes,
I
you better
don't
text me. You better
I
text me.
will. Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will. I will. So the reason why I was asking about our childhood, gaming wise, is because with obviously we're going into 2023 and like the future of gaming is kind of going on to this weird kind of I would say tangent or a new line where a lot of people are playing or companies are coming out with more advanced uh VR stuff,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
augmented reality stuff. Like Apple is trying to do it. They're not their new headsets coming out, which is super
Mhm,
dumb expensive. I'm going to say that again. Um it's not going to have games on it, but they're still trying to create like a headset, trying to bring some type of virtual reality into like
mhm.
our everyday lives. And,
Yeah.
we got the Meta Quest 3, so the Quest 3's out coming out,
Mhm,
or it is out. So there are more advanced things, more advanced gaming. Um so I wanted to ask you, like, do you think that that is the right path to future for gaming instead of doing controllers and us just looking at
mhm.
a screen? Do you think, as a guy who has a Quest and as a guy who I have a Quest as well, where when you wear it and you're playing games, it's very fun, it's very
Yeah.
cool, but the fatigue of wearing it,
Mhm,
and obviously the graphics aren't there yet.
mhm.
But do you
They're
think they're
solid,
good?
though.
No, they're good. They're good. I'm not saying they're bad, but
I mean, it's not Spider-Man 2 on PS5,
yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
for what it is, I've played some good ones.
Do you think that it is this that soon it'll be like where we won't have consoles to play with controllers anymore? It'll just be more VR stuff or AR stuff.
No, I think it'll be more VR stuff.
Okay.
The same reason we still have computers and keyboards as a gaming option. I mean, I understand that, like, the PS5 is not going to replace your like home desktop for work or anything like that,
Right.
but
Right.
like there are still people who play on PC, there are still people who play on console. I think it'll just be another avenue to explore. I don't think the entire industry develops in that way.
Okay.
But I do think that as VR develops more and more, it has the potential to vastly outstrip console gaming. At least it depends. It depends because there are
Hmm.
people who want to just get home, get in their favorite recliner, kick that seat up, grab the controller, and just like veg out. And then there are
Yeah.
people who are like, nah, man, like, get me in there, tag
Yeah.
me in,
Yeah.
coach. Like, I want to be up, I want to be moving, I want to feel like I'm part of the world. And I think that there's this gap between the VR experience we are currently experiencing and
Yeah.
like the VR experience that I think nerds want, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
like the Matrix, just plug me in, baby.
Yeah.
And I just want to like sit there, plug it in the back, and just like have my consciousness go into the
Hmm.
computer and do all that. I will be super hesitant. I'm gonna let another generation of people guinea pig that whenever that
Yeah.
eventually happens. Um, but no, I think like if you we talked a little bit about Ready Player One.
I was about to get to
Um,
that. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you see, I know Ready Player One is a book, is a story
sure.
created, but you looked at their society where like they're really into the augmented reality type of thing. They
Mhm.
have the haptic feedback suits. They have the little treadmill thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To like so that way if you're moving in real life, you're moving in the game and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like, do you think that like our society would want to adapt that?
I think they already are trying.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen they have like VR arcades now where you can go to
Mhm.
where it's like you get the headset, but then you also get, the gun or whatever thing that you're
Mhm.
using in the game. And then they
Mhm.
have this like it's like a bowl treadmill
Yeah, I've
where
seen
it's
that,
like you
yeah.
kind of run on it and it tracks
Mhm.
the like sliding of your feet as like a movement thing.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I've seen it a couple times and I'm always like, I would do that. Think the biggest thing that's prohibiting that from growing is kind of like it. Like I said, I saw it at an arcade, which
Mhm.
is something you don't see for traditional. We're not going to see a ton of progress in it.
Yeah. I think I guess what I was wondering is just like because like with the Quest 3 about and like Apple's trying to join in the game of like VR AR stuff.
Mhm.
And more companies are kind of like doing these headsets. It's just like I was just wondering like I hope like I don't and PlayStation has their own VR too. Um I guess it is like its own tier, like you said. It's its own
Mhm.
thing that we won't really leave the whole because I also think back to there's been many different movies created with like this type of thing where like I forget what it's called, man. Had Russell Brand, not forget who's the guy who did Leonidas in 300 or something, and
Oh, Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, yeah, yeah. So he was like a prisoner, and like he got the like
Oh, yeah, 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 I remember
yeah,
this movie.
it's called like
I
Game Over or something like that or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah, I did not watch it.
Oh, okay,
I
but
remember
like
the trailers for it, I was like, "Oh, nice."
so like their whole society is built around like these kids that are like really good at competitive gaming, but like they have like this room, and he literally is like he's playing a shooter, so him like actually like doing this like follows the tracking of his own body movement, which then
Mhm.
controls the character.
Yeah,
So
remember, Xbox tried to do that for a while. They had the camera, the
the
Kinect,
Connect thing.
where it was like instead of doing like VR technically, it was
Hmm.
reading your body movements. It would actually I would not be surprised if we got something similar in the future where it's like you're gonna put on the VR rig and then you're
Hmm.
gonna wear like haptic gloves, which are also tracking gloves, and
Hmm.
then it'll have a camera that also so like the headpiece and the gloves are going to be your controllers, and then the
Hmm.
camera kind of tracks you through so you can kind of like do this
Hmm.
motion without actually walking,
Uh-huh.
and it'll kind of pick up on like, oh, they're moving.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess I was just wondering, like, I hope companies don't go that route fully without having like I don't know, because like I like the whole VR setup, but I kind of
Mhm.
like like the Sword Art Online idea.
I was gonna say, yeah. So, like, I was waiting for you to ask the question that everybody who approaches this at our age and is a nerd asks, which is like, if they ever come out with a full dive Sword Art Online style where
Mhm.
you just put on the thing and it uploads your consciousness into the thing and you can just your brain does the moving and you just feel like you're in the game, and when you lose it logs you out. Would I do it is the question that I every nerd has asked me who knows that I like. There's a term, I think it's called isekai, which is like you get sucked into another world, whether that be like a fantasy world or like a there's a genre of book called lit RPG or literary
Yeah,
RPGs,
right.
which is like my bread and butter. I consume those books like it's my job. And most of them, or a lot of them, are like, I got sucked into a video game, or I got sucked into an alternate world, and oh, it just happens to use video game mechanics. I
Hmm.
love those books. So that's like, you're asking the right person these questions.
Yeah,
um,
like like you were saying, like you would feel hesitant because I would feel hesitant too. That's why it's like kind of terrifying. Like I like the whole having the headset thing, but I also the fatigue of wearing it, and
mhm,
doing like the actual movements kind of sucks. So like the thought of me just like, hey, I'm gonna lay down on this gaming couch and jack in like
yep.
do like the thing, or I guess in Ready Player in Sword Art, he had the goggles.
He's got the goggles, but it's never really clear. He's
Yeah,
like,
what
"Oh,
the
I'm
fuck?
putting on these goggles," and then he's just like forever in it. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
So
and if you
like why
take
did it
them
have to
off,
be
your head explodes. Like,
why did it have to be goggles? Why couldn't it just be like I don't know two like little stickies to
like
put on your
yeah. Why
temples?
wouldn't you? That's a very good question, and I will. I gotta do some digging and find out. I think it's probably because it just visually was like, yeah, we need something that looks like he's doing something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, it
Um.
should have just been electrodes. Just
Mhm. Right. So like how you were saying, I would let a generation just take the leap for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But see, that's the dumbest thing. The in Sword Art Online, they make the dumbest mistake possible, which is that they play on launch day. You gotta
Yeah.
wait for the bugs to fix. And in
Yeah.
this one, the bug was that their head explodes if you try to. You die if you die.
Yeah.
Um, no, yeah, that's I would. Here's the thing: in the context of like, if this was an anime, I would totally just jump right in. But
Yeah.
like, I have seen what Elon Musk does with his products. Like, I don't trust these billionaire tech companies to be like, yeah, everything's fine. Just go ahead and log
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give this like a year, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wait for 2.0 to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think okay, so I'll take a different route then. Okay, so say you're not gonna, do that, but you wanna have a more of a gaming experience, and you what if they do have those feedback suits, they do have those feedback suits
Yeah.
now. Would you consider taking a baby step into something like that?
Um, it would depend. Part of it is just that I think I would get really fucking hot in that suit. like
Yeah, yeah.
like again, I'm a 34-year-old man. It's gonna be snug, okay? I don't think I would have a problem realistically wearing a haptic suit. I think it would depend on, again, I think I would let it go a couple generations. Because if it's just gonna
Okay.
be like those, like, those, like, when you used to go to like Dave and Buster's and it'd be like, this thing's gonna vibrate so hard it feels like it's electrocuting you. I think it'd just
Mhm.
be a lot of that. I think it's gonna be a lot of like buzzing, to
Yeah.
simulate like, oh, I got shot in the arm, buzz.
Yeah, I saw a video of a woman playing like she was wearing a Quest or a headset, right? And then she was wearing a feedback suit, and the feedback suit shocks you essentially.
Yeah,
But she was playing a shooter game where she had to it was the game was pretty cool. Like she looked like a old Western gunslinger game to where like she like cops out, boom, she shoots a character, but every time they shoot her, like she gets hit, she can dodge the bullets, but like, if she got hit, it, like, shocks her, and she was, like, in pain. She was like, "Ah, ah," and, like, kinda like and I was like, "I don't know if I could do that. I
yeah,
don't
that
know."
feels like, okay. So again, when it says shock, it might be actual genuine shock, but a lot of times when they say shock, what they mean is very hard vibration
Vibration?
to the
Yeah.
point that it feels like shocking. But either way, as
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like going home after a long day of work, or I work from home most of the time. So I like going downstairs after a long, hard day of work and being a god and just wrecking people. When you
Yeah,
bring in real consequences, and don't get me wrong, there are like moral consequences, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
right.
Uh, if you start fighting back in a way that's not just me being like, I can't win the game.
Yeah, yeah,
If it
yeah.
starts being like, oh God, oh God,
Yeah.
I'm just getting like riddled with bullets, like that's
Like
not exactly
yeah.
the gaming experience I want. I get there are competitive gamers who are like, I would like to go in, not, get so good at this that I never get shot. And it does at that point, I think it transitions almost out of a video game and it needs to be almost called something else at that point. Not
Mhm.
that it's not a video game, but like
The
it would have to
4D
be like,
experience.
yeah, like an immersion 4D experience.
Mhm. Yeah.
But would I wear eventually? Yeah, I would totally. I would set it on easy mode to begin with, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like my thought is like, I don't know if like yeah, maybe I'll try it, like try it once,
mhm,
but it's a thought like I don't really want to. So like Call of Duty for an answer, I don't really want to know what it's like to get shot that
yeah.
bad to want me to like put a suit on and me play Call of Duty. I'm like, wow, I really feel a lot of pain in my back right now because I'm getting shot so much, or how much, or like you're playing like Elden Ring, right? And you're fighting a boss, and the boss fucking wrecks you across the place,
I was gonna
and your
say,
whole chest gets lit. You're like, oh,
so like that's I think my point is that when people think about these immersion things, they usually think about what it feels like to get shot in them because getting
mm-hmm,
shot is very easy. You can just do a little buzz. You
mm-hmm,
could have a little have, but like if like you're like you said, if you're playing Elden Ring, and you get like, it just slashes across. Or if I'm playing Skyrim, because
mm-hmm.
God knows there would be a Skyrim on it if they released a haptic suit. It's got to be on
Yeah,
every
yeah,
console. And I get just covered in flame by a dragon.
mm-hmm,
Does my whole suit tingle? Like that's
yeah,
why I don't want it to be like a shock system. I want it to be your controller vibrates. I want it
yeah,
to be
yeah,
like that. Like it vibrates because then if I get covered in flame and my whole suit's like meh at the same
yeah,
time, like, all right, that's kind of a fun experience. It tickles
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Like,
mm-hmm,
yeah,
yeah.
in that case, for sure. But if they're like, we're gonna make it hurt like real pain, then like, nah, that's Shane's thing. That's why he drinks all those sodas.
Okay, I like the
Shane's like,
painful of a bubbles from the Sprite, not like being electrocuted across my
Shane's
body,
just in
like
this haptic suit, like, shock me, daddy.
yeah, Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'd probably try it, but I don't know if I would really like embrace it too much because
Yeah. I would for the full dive technology, if it's full on Sword Art Online style, I'm in. Count me.
mhm,
If it's even if in that simulation you can kind of feel the experience you're going through, but it's like a 10% muted, like you're only feeling 10% of whatever the pain is. So if you get stabbed through the stomach with a sword, it feels kind of like you're having like cramps, like stomach cramps. Then I'd be like, well, this is uncomfortable, but like it adds to the experience, especially if you can
yeah,
switch that off. Then I'd be fine.
true.
Although if you switch it off, I always okay, you'll appreciate this. I went back and watched Yu-Gi-Oh recently a little bit
Okay,
because nostalgia.
sure.
Um, and it's ridiculously funny to me when they're like, especially when they're in like Duelist Kingdom and they'll be like battling when they get the like or when they're in the city where they're like they just can make holograms wherever they go,
Mm,
and then they'll get like blasted by Blue Eyes White Dragon blast you. And they're always like, oh, and their life points go down. It's like ding 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 ding, and they're like,
mhm.
oh, and I'm like, it's a hologram. It's a hologram. You're
Yeah,
screaming right now. You're like,
yeah,
oh, like
yeah,
that in
yeah,
pain screaming. And I get it. I'm a voiceover. I get it. It's all for the sake of like embellishment and stuff like that. But like going back on it, like as a kid, I was like, oh no, he's losing his life points. And as an adult, I'm like, it's a hologram. Why are you screaming?
yeah. I never understood that either. Like how like the wind would blow, like their
Yeah.
dust and shit. Like what the
Oh,
hell? Yeah, it's a good
which
point.
I feel like that's what we'll end up feeling is that we'll be in VR and we'll be doing Yu-Gi-Oh in VR, and I'll be like, "Get him, Blue Eyes," and Shane will just be like, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Why are you yelling? We're in virtual reality."
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that one. But, yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see what happens. Embrace change, as I always
I
say.
also have to use this wonderful platform of yours, this
Sure.
fantastic podcast to plug if you are into the concept of playing like VR games or whatever. Like I said, I'm really into literary RPGs. There's two books in particular that I want to recommend to you, a dear listener. One, and I've plugged this on the show before, is He Who Fights with Monsters. It
Mm,
is it has ruined me for other books. I love the character. He's a snarky, sarcastic asshole who compensates dealing with it being in an alternate world by just being like, I'm uncomfortable all the time. So I'm going to make references that you don't understand because it's not my problem. You don't get them. So he'll be like transported to another world and they'll be like, blah, 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 blah. And he'll be like, I'm Batman. And they're like, who's Batman? And he's like, you don't need to worry about it. So it's fantastic, it's wonderful, and it's great. The other one is one that I just finished reading the most recent entry of the series that just came out. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl,
mhm,
which is a book about it's basically Earth gets most of its residents get like crushed under this alien species comes. I think they're called the Syndicate. They come, they open up these like stairwells outside, and then anyone who's inside gets crushed. And it happens at like 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you go down the stairwell, then you are entered into the dungeon crawl, and it's basically a dungeon style, video game style game where it's like they're fighting. It's Hunger Games meets Sword Art Online.
okay.
Um, and they just do lots of fucked up shit to him. It's very dark, but it's also very funny at the same time. He brings his cat with him, the main character. Um, and then like the cat gets the ability to talk through a potion, and then she becomes like a full character, and then like
Okay.
it's just really cool. Like they do things like again, it's twisted, it's Hunger Games style. So if like that
Mhm,
sours your tum tum, then don't do it. But if you like a little bit of the darkness, like it's great. Like people will have to like because the company who does the crawl essentially who like turns the planet into this place is like known for using like a twisted AI. So like the AI will be like anything that was crushed in the initial like crushing of anything inside, they then get those resources. The company does. So like the crawl is a cover for them like resource mining worlds, but then they
yeah.
do this a way to like make extra money. So like there are people who are it's like, "Oh, your first boss is your dead wife who was crushed in the initial crushing.
What the
And you
hell?
made it into it, but now she's like a banshee. And so it's got her face, but it's not really her because they've got the physical resources but not the like can't capture someone's soul. So
Yeah.
like they will it'll be like, oh, your first fight is a banshee, and it's like this like evil siren that's trying to suck your soul out, and Shane, it has Nicole's face on it, and you have to fight through that, and it's like, so it's like this psychological like,
That's
fuck you.
yeah, that's pretty
It's a
crazy.
and but yet it's funny at the same time, and they like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but those two books are easily my favorite. And if you like the idea of like playing a VR game or being stuck in a VR world, it is the exact same vibe. They use video game mechanics for everything. They level up. They're literally like, oh, my spell is at level 10. Like, so go read those books because they're fantastic books.
Give the name of them again.
The first one is He Who Fights with Monsters. It's written
Mhm.
by Shirtaloon. I strongly recommend the audiobooks for both. Um, the other one is called Dungeon Crawler Carl. Um, and that one is, I forget who it's written. Hang on, I'll Google it. I've got Google.
Sure.
The other one is narrated by Jeff Hayes, and one of my favorite things is that when he first starts the book, his character Carl
Mhm.
sounds a little bit like Crunk at first from like Emperor's New Groove, and he just kind of
Okay.
talks like, Patrick Warburton. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in this most recent book, I won't spoil why, but they have like a character that is semi Carly for reasons, and again, I'll leave it vague. But they actually got Patrick Warburton to come on and be like this like Giga Carl essentially,
Oh,
where it's just like,
really?
it's not Carl, but it's based off Carl, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Carl," and I'm like, "Holy shit, that's actually Patrick Warburton." It's written by Matt. Dungeon Crawler Carl, written by Matt Dinneman, narrated, I believe, by Jeff Hayes. I don't have that up in front of me, but Jeff Hayes is one of my favorite audiobook readers, and he does a lot of my favorite books, so I'm going to assume it's Jeff Hayes.
There you go.
Um, I strongly recommend both. The audio book readers for both are fantastic, and I'm a voice actor, so take me at my word when I say this. When I listen to those audiobooks, I think to myself, they did a better job of telling that story than I could have in my own brain if I was just reading this book. They add more inflection, they take it in routes that I wouldn't expect. They do funnier things than I would have expect. So if you're an audiobook reader, definitely pick it up. If not, you can just read the books, but like if you're into audiobooks, they're grand slams.
There you go, guys. So check those books out. Um, I think that's all we got today, guys. Yeah, so we can wrap it up here, Zach. Honestly.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm tired of your
Yeah.
face anyway.
um, so guys, this is all we got for you. If you want to watch the video version of the podcast, go check it out on the Nerdy Mind on YouTube. Audio versions of the episodes are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm on many different platforms. Trust me, I'm on it absolutely anything you can think of. I'm absolutely on it.
He actually
Um,
sits outside his house and will redo this podcast as smoke signals. So if you're into that, he can do it there
yeah,
too. You just have
yeah,
to be near his
exactly.
neighborhood.
Right. Learning sign language, so I'll do that as well.
He bought a
Um,
bunch of pigeons. I think he's going to be mailing them out via pigeon. So keep an eye out
in
for
a
those.
in written
If you
form.
want to sign up for your pigeon podcast update, just go ahead and comment in the comments, and we'll get you a pigeon.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
keep the pigeon.
no, I need the pigeon back. They cost You know how much it costs to train a
It's
pigeon?
not cost effective. Just go to New York and kidnap them. They're abandoned there.
True. That's true. That's true. I spoke about this on a previous episode. The podcast has its first affiliate, animetown.creations.com.
Oh yeah.
Um, so you pretty much can buy cool decals for your credit card. So I have a Dark Magician credit decal for my credit card, also a Blue Eyes White Dragon. I've bought Zack a Blue Eyes White Dragon card
It's true. Have
for
you
his.
given it to me?
Yeah, I got it for last Christmas.
Oh, you know what it is? You got me another Christmas present that I haven't opened, and it's sitting on top of it. That's why.
Yeah, see, this is how I get treated.
This
Um,
is this is being a 30-year-old, okay? He gave me a Christmas present. It's last Christmas. It's October, and it's sitting in a pile of Christmas presents that I'm like, I need to do something with those. It's not that they're
okay,
not good Christmas presents. It's that
okay,
I have ADD and they're out of sight, out of
okay.
mind.
Okay, I apologize. I am sorry. But guys, go check them out. They not only do decals for credit cards, but they do decals for PS5s, Xboxes, Switches. So I actually have a decal coming in for my Switch where I'm turning it into a Gundam. So
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
so my Joy Cons will be pretty much the arms of the Gundam, and the
Oh my
actual face of it will be the actual face of the mech and everything. So it's gonna be great.
god,
Can't wait for that.
fantastic.
Also, they have amazing artwork for mouse pads or desk pads. Don't No one really uses a mouse pad anymore. It's mainly a artwork for your desk. So I bought one where it has two Pikachu's. One Pikachu is dressed up like Naruto doing a Rasengan,
Hell yeah.
chasing to the left, and then one is Sasuke doing a Chidori going right, and they're coming at each other. So I cannot wait for that to come in and place on my desk. I'll show you guys that. So check them out, guys. AnimeTownCreations.com. And uh, with you guys watching the podcast, you guys get a little discount. Just type in the code nerdy10, you get a 10% discount your first purchase, and there you go. So definitely check them out, guys.
The podcast, do I get the discount, or is it like an employee thing where it's like, you can't use it 'cause you're an employee?
I'll talk to you about that. We'll,
All
we'll,
right,
we'll, we'll we'll help you out. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, go check out AnimeTownCreations.com. Zach, thank you for coming on. Thank you. It's been a
always.
while. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man. We have a great conversation. So,
Yeah, well, I
uh,
hope everybody enjoyed our 20 minutes about Wawa sheets and
yeah, and sodas. So,
super broad topics worldwide.
yeah. But, guys, as always, stay nerdy, my friends.
Stay nerdy, guys.